What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another War Within video. Hope you're all doing very well. I am on the 11.0.7 PTR, and we are on the new island called the Siren Isle. I'm going to talk all about it in the video today. So this is the this is the patch's main feature, as far as I can tell. This is not like a whole new zone with like a large story quest line and like a raid or something like that. None of that. This is more like the Forbidden Reach 2.0. So if you remember from Dragonflight, we had the Forbidden Reach up here. This is exactly like that. In fact, it is exactly like that in almost every single way. There are like daily quests to kill. There's rares. There's like weekly things you can do to get gems. I'm gonna talk about the gems in a second. There's a ring that you can socket gems into, just like the Forbidden Reach. There are different types of gems. Look over that in a second as well. It's kind of just a copy paste of the Forbidden Reach in Dragonflight. And whether you enjoyed that system or not, that's up to you. I liked the gems from the Forbidden Reach sort of expedition thing that you had to do, but the fact that they kind of just redid the exact same thing over again is a little bit frustrating, I guess. It would have been nice to get something completely different, but it really is just like the Forbidden Reach 2.0 or you know, back in Pandaland, the Isle, the Timeless Isle. It's sort of like that, right? It's got that vibe to it, okay? Now, when you first get here, there's like a quest line you have to do in Dornegal, right in the capital. So there's like a person in the capital city of Dornegal, right like there. There's a lady named Dawn, and she gives you a quest line to go talk to like the goblins, and they're on like a ship over here, and they've anchored like a ship like right up there, and then the ship will take you to the isle, and then once you get here, you do a small little quest line to introduce yourself to everybody, and then you start going from there. And the main two people that you introduce yourself to are these two over here, and they help you understand the new ring that you have to get. And basically the ring has several different sockets that you can put into it, and they have all kinds of different effects. So far there's only 12 different gems that we know about that you can actually use. Let me just put this in the middle of the screen just so you guys can see it a little better. So far there's only 12. Now, whether or not there's going to be more that are going to be added, there's only 12 so far. So there's 4 gems in each type. There's thunder, sea, and wind, okay? And then there's 4 different gems in each. Now, a major difference between the Forbidden Reach gems that go into this ring and these ones is that there are stat ones on this time around. So the Forbidden Reach had no stats on it, that ring, and this ring also has no stats on it. It just gives you 10,000 stamina right now, and then it has 3 sockets. But some of those sockets can be secondary stats. For example, you can get 440 of every secondary stat, which is interesting, actually. So 1 gem gives you 440 of every secondary stat. That's kind of cool. And then there is one that gives you mastery. Where is it? This one here. So 1400 mastery, and all other singing citrine effects are increased based on your total mastery. So if you have a mastery build, if you're a class that enjoys mastery, this might be kind of good for you. And then there is one that just gives you 1760 of your highest secondary stats. So you could literally do all 3 of the stat buffs. Just go 440 of all, a whole bunch of mastery, and a whole bunch of your highest secondary, which could be mastery, I guess. So the ring could just be a massive secondary stat stick. I'm kind of already convinced that might be the play for almost everybody. There's very few people who don't enjoy. I mean, there's some specs that don't enjoy mastery, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. That could just be the play. Now, there are other interesting effects. There's like shields, which absorb damage and then obviously do damage back to attackers. It's like a tanking one. Spells and abilities have a low chance to trigger other singing citrine effects of 4 nearby allies. So that is a really cool one, actually. Now it says it's a low chance, which is kind of bad. That may be like once per minute, maybe. But that is really, really cool that whatever your allies' effects are, you can trigger all of them. That one's like the most exciting one in my mind. I kind of love that. And I'm going to be trying to get that one, I think, because that just sounds really cool. And then spells abilities have a chance to zap an enemy, doing nature damage. We've seen this before, right? In the Forbidden Reach. A lot of these are very inspired by the Forbidden Reach. Chance to bathe your allies in water, healing them. That's actually a pretty big heal. Jumping to 2 allies. So 3 people get hit for 146k. Now, I don't know about the scaling of this. We have no idea how these scale, what item level these end up going to. There's no indication of that right now. I will let you know when that ends up happening, but stamina is increased and your size is increased. Being above 80% health causes attackers to take frost damage. You know, the tanking one. There's the mastery one. Spells and abilities have a chance to drench an enemy in freezing seawater and bouncing into 2 enemies dealing frost damage. Good for Mythic Plus. Spells and abilities have a chance to whisper a sea shanty to 5 nearby allies, healing them for health over time. Spells and abilities have a chance to cast a random singing citrine effect. So this is similar to the one that casts all the ones from your allies, but this time it's just any random effect at a higher effectiveness, which is kind of cool. Might be good, might not be good. Secondary stat, and then spells and abilities have a chance to slice 5 enemies with rushing sea breeze, dealing damage. So there are some pretty typical effects in here: healing, damage, secondary stats, and then this kind of crazy one right here where you have a chance to proc everybody's effects. That could be really crazy, in my opinion, in like a 5-man group. In the ring only lets you take in 1 of each gem. So there are colors here. There's a yellow, blue, and red, and the gems will have a corresponding color. So I can't put a red one in here because that's just not, I have to replace the red one that I have. So you'll have to figure out which red one and which blue one and which yellow one you like best for your spec, okay? And then, as I said before, I have no idea if there's any way to upgrade these later on. There's no indication of that. There is a vendor here who sells a bunch of veteran weapons and items and stuff, but they're mostly just transmogs from what I can gather. And they're not even really that good, in my opinion. Like, that sword's kind of cool. But this is mostly, I would say, for transmog. There's a new currency that you're getting on the island called Flame Blessed Iron. That is used to do everything, to purchase these like transmog items, or if these are an upgrade for you because you're like an outdoor player and you don't do Mythic Plus or Raid, that's totally fine. But there's Flame Blessed Iron. Use that for that. You use it to purchase gems from this lady over here, like the one that I purchased a second ago, which was the highest secondary stat one. You use this new resource to also fill up this map. So there are events going on the island, and they have a chance to reward you with riches or with new gems, which is very cool. This is going to be your primary way of getting new gems from how I understand. My huge gripe with this whole thing is that there's no vendor like there was in the Forbidden Reach. The Forbidden Reach had a vendor where you could literally disenchant gems that you already have and turn them into like dust, and then buy random gems off a vendor and hope to get lucky and get the one that you were looking for. That so far does not exist at all in any way, shape, or form. So you have to do these like excursions, these excavations, I guess. They send you into one of these caves. Like, there's one there, there's a cave down there, there's a cave up there. So those are like daily events that happen. There's also a special assignment like there is on the rest of the War Within zones, and you will do that to get a crate of stuff and potentially get a gem as well. So far the gem acquisition seems like you must do the content that's here, and there's no other way of doing that, which in my opinion, like, I don't mind doing the content here to get the gems, I get it, but like, there should be a vendor. I think there should be a vendor, and it could be just early days on the PTR, and there is going to be a vendor eventually. I just haven't found it yet. If one of you has found a vendor that I'm not aware of, let me know, but I have not found one so far. There are different events that happen on the island. Like, there's a storm that rolls in, and I already did the weekly quest for this, but you're going to talk to like this guy, and she'll begin the storm event, and you kind of phase into a different zone, and then there's a bunch of people attacking the camp here. And there's different factions that are attacking the camp. You have to defend the camp, and then you get a reward. I did it, and the reward was really bad. It was like gold and some of the Flame Blessed Iron resource that I have plenty of already. So there was really no reason to do it. In my opinion, every event on this island should have gems as the reward, like every single one of them. And maybe it will eventually. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. A little disappointed so far. You also can't mount while you're here. I actually don't know how this guy's mounted right now. You have this debuff that says the winds of the Siren Isle make it intraversable with flight. So from what I understand, you can't mount, but there is a bunch of like experimental items you can grab, like these rocket boosters, and this will actually get you around. This will get you around like easily. You can traverse all over the island with this thing. So don't worry too much about the mobility of it. It should be fine, but you cannot mount while you're here, which is a little bit might be annoying for some people. So that's basically it. That is the entire island. It's pretty small. There are some cool different nooks and crannies here. They've said, the developer said that there are tons of secrets on this island, more than they've ever done before, and that's kind of cool and encouraging, I guess. I haven't really found too many. I haven't tried to find any yet, but there's lots of events to do here. If you're an outdoor world person, then I think this is going to be something you're going to love, of course, because it's got content that is not too difficult to do. I'm not trying to flame anybody. I'm just letting you know how it's like. The content is not that difficult, but it's fun and exciting and kind of new. There are interesting gems you can get, lots of secrets to find here. That might be really fun for people who are less into like Mythic Plus and Raid. That kind of makes sense. If you are a Mythic Plus and a Raid person, I do think you're going to need to get this ring and get the gems and probably upgrade them like you did in the Forbidden Reach and the Forbidden Isles, and like figure out what your best combination of gems is and socket that into your gear and go from there. And we'll have to wait and see. I do think there could be some interesting combinations of gems, like potentially, right? Especially the secondary stat one, and especially this one that procs could be kind of interesting in a 5-man group. We'll have to wait and see. But so far, that's what's going on. There are tons of transmogs that are being data mined right now from either Plunderstorm or the Trading Post, but also from this event as well. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things going on with this new island. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited for another Forbidden Reach? Are you not really excited for it? Do you want to see what this ring can do? Are you interested in some of the combinations? I would love to hear from all of you down there. Personally, I'm going to give you my personal opinion here. I'm not super excited about this. I think that I like the idea of this ring that can do really cool things, but they've just literally copied and pasted what they did before. Like these effects, there's actually less effects on in this time around than there were in the Forbidden Reach. There was like 20 gems, I think, in the Forbidden Reach one. So this one's only got 12. Maybe we're going to get more. It's early days, but so far I'm a little bit disappointed in the fact that it's just a carbon copy of the Forbidden Reach 2.0. And I'll have to wait and see. Maybe it'll end up being actually pretty cool, but I so far I'm a little bit disappointed. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If this is the kind of content for you, I would love to hear from you down there, but let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much again for watching. Love y'all. I'll see you in the next one.